Welcome to Onyx Path Virtual Con. We hope you're enjoying yourselves so far. I know I am. We are Vorpal Tales, and we perform terrifying tales and awesome adventures every day of the week, most days twice a day. Come check us out at twitch.tv/VorpalTales, youtube.com/VorpalTales, VorpalTales.com, and of course, all over the social medias at Vorpal Tales. We run the absolute gambit of Onyx Path games, which includes Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Mage the Awakening, Mage the Ascension, and the They Came From Beyond the Grave, with more coming in the fall. Be sure you give the Onyx Path Twitch a follow, and also drop a follow on Vorpal Tales and here at Plastic Age Plays. You want to stay in the know about all the awesome, don't you? Speaking of the awesome, there are some really sweet deals going on now for Onyx Path Virtual Con. There is a post-apocalypse sale at Drive-Thru RPG that has Dystopia Rising Evolution and select Pugmire Monarchies of Mal PDFs, and also 14, count them, 14 hashtag OPPCon 2021 PDF bundle deals on a variety of RPGs and fiction at the Onyx Path Publishing publisher page. Okay, it is time to start what you all tuned in for. Amen! Tell everyone who you are and who you are playing. We'll start with Sean.
Hey there, I am at Space Lord PJs. Tonight I am playing a Manticora cleric of Tennille? Yes, sounds right.
Is it Tennille?
I think.
I don't know why it makes me laugh. It just does.
It does.
It makes me think of the captain, Tennille.
It is Tennille.
But it is Tennille.
The nature cleric. I'm gonna make this an iteration of Sprouting Hounds, I think. So.
Okay. John.
As a fan of Sprouting Hops, I can say I support this decision. And I am John, otherwise known as J3Billion on the interwebs, and I will be playing a Keldar Dwarf Cleric of the Death Domain. His name shall be Damien.
Fitting. Ray.
Hi, my name is Ray Alexa. And I will be playing the Knowledge Domain Cleric, Caleb Yvain Aster. Goes by their last name, Cleric of Eris.
All right. And finally, Hugo.
My name is Hugo. You can find me online pretty much anywhere at Sevatar. That's with 3 underscores at the end. And today I'm playing Hasdrubal Rain, the pirate/cleric of Manaway and Tempest cleric.
All right. Thank you very much. Amen. I am the Dungeon Master Patrick, everyone on the internet at Patty6_. And now, for your viewing and listening pleasure, I present this story taking place in Scarred Lands, Dead Man's Rust. The Necromancers of Glavide Hotel performed a true ritual 5 years ago that created a weapon that targeted a select group, but would throw the entire continent of Gelspad into chaos. The disease that would become known as the Legionnaire's Rust was supposed to only inflict construct humanoids, but could be carried by anyone. It was ingenious. Cut off the entire culture from the rest of the world or risk exposure. With the Knights and Legionnaires out of commission, Glavide Hotel could finally overrun Hallowfast and the Gleaming Valley. Then they turned to the rest of the continent. The problem with fighting an army of necromancers and their undead is every soldier you lose is another soldier for them. It was a slow war of attrition, but one that Glavide Hotel slowly started to win. The Undead Dynasty, what the Necromancers of Glavide Hotel had come to call their nation, has pushed the Calastian hegemony back to the Blossoming Sea, ferreted out and decimated the Keldar dwarves and elves of Deir Drendel, and locked the rest of the nations behind the Keldar mountain range. Vesh is the only major nation outside of the dynasty, and it is only a matter of time before the dead come pouring over the mountains to fix that anomaly. All other options have been explored, every calculation and viewpoint studied. Every tactical mind agrees that Vesh will not stand against the dynasty unless something dramatic is done, something impossible, a miracle. You are the Amen, the best Gelspada and the gods have to offer. Many volunteered, but the Oracle of Ankili chose you four. You are gathered in the Temple of Ankili. The four of you have freshly been selected for what all amounts to be a suicide mission. You've been summoned from across the corners of Vesh, from your various temples, from the various armies or parts of the world that you had been either hiding out in, leading, repairing, healing, and brought here. You're meeting before a cleric of Corian and a cleric of Selphus. They tell you what your mission entails. Kelkin, the cleric of Corian, hands a scroll that seems to give off light unnaturally, more than any spell or lantern could possibly do, and hands it to Sprouting Hops.
Ooh.
In your possession, you have the most powerful weapon ever made. It is a spell scroll written in the blood of the dead Titan Mesos and sanctified by the very hand of Corian. It details a true ritual that must be done at the bottom of the Arcus Necropole.
That sounds dangerous.
It is. You volunteered for this. You knew that this would very most likely be a one-way trip.
Well, seems like this is something an army would be good for.
No army has successfully stood against the necromancers. All are cut down and then just added to their own army. Their undead number in the millions. But we have a plan. We have a way to slip past their armies and get you directly to Glavido Tel itself. This is Belios. He gestures to the old cleric next to him, who is wearing robes of all pure black, and there's just one single eye that is emblazoned upon his robes that is half open. Belios will take you to an ancient temple of his god, Sethris, that has been hidden in the Hornsoft forest. Hidden away from all. None knew of this temple. It is there that from that location that you will be able to strike at the very heart of this dynasty. So they call themselves. We will be able to get you into this city, but from there, it will be up to you to get through it, dodge the patrols, remain unseen from the scores of undead that patrol the streets, and then get to the bottom of the sanctum, the Arcus, and perform the ritual. This is our only shot, our only chance. We'll only be able to attempt this once. So, I need to know that you are all truly ready. Take a moment, pray to your gods, for you will truly need them to be walking by your side for this mission. And he kind of turns away from you. He motions to Belios, who walks beside them, and they take about 20 steps deeper into this kind of prayer hall that they had gathered you in, to kind of afford the four of you a moment to, talk, say your final goodbyes, your final prayers before the mission is to be started.
I don't know what I was thinking. Oh, Lord. Okay. Suicide mission it is.
Do any of you have experience with the worshippers of Sethris?
No.
Unfortunately, I do not.
No, but Sean, what is your character's name?
Sprouting hops.
So, sprouting hops. I might have something planned
Okay.
about your concern.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about it, and if we all survive, if we do this, I can get us out.
It's not so much the outs that's the worry, it's the getting in.
Oh, I am, and you can see Aster is kind of fidgeting, and they're kind of like picking at their hands. But you're right. But if we succeed in doing it, I can get us out. It doesn't necessarily have to be a one way.
What is your plan?
I have a spell that if you guys all stay close to me, I can transport us back to a set location, which would be a temple of my god. But I've already got it set up, and you just see like Aster is just kind of like scratching at like their hand, like very nervous. So I would need but there is a catch. I would need to save a really high level spell. I would need to save my highest spell slot for it.
Oh yeah.
But I could get us all out. If we do this, I can get us out.
I don't mean to speak for the rest of this mission, but I personally don't have a preference as to whether we escape with our lives or not. I leave this decision in your hands, my companions.
Patty, what was this dude's name? That's all like black and half-eyed.
Belios. He was not the one who was talking.
Right.
He was the one that kept getting mentioned. And then just kind of as you were all clerics, just kind of the base knowledge that you would have putting your heads together about Selthus. You know that Selthus is a minor god of Sethris, not Selthus. Sethris is a minor god of hidden things, poison, revenge, and spiders.
Oh, spiders. Cool.
I just kind of tack that on at the end.
One of these is like not like the other. And this one particular cleric, is he well known? Does that name ring a bell?
Belios doesn't really ring any bells. You do know there are very few priests of Sethris, and the few that there are little known about, just as the nature of hidden things is the main thing Sethris is known for.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to keep to themselves. It's not much to know about the rituals or things like that. But if Kelkin is saying that they have a hidden temple that is, and you all know the general layout of Gelspad, the Hornsaw Forest is where Glavido Hotel is located in that forest. So if there's a hidden temple that even with all the years that have gone by, those necromancers have not even found, that makes sense. That is plausible, as you know, they take pride in how much stuff they keep hidden.
Okay. And they wanted us to walk into another room, right? And like.
So they kind of like they have kind of letting you guys. They'd only taken about 10 yards away from you guys. they're just kind of waiting for you guys to. They're basically listening for you guys to approach, and they'll kind of, okay, you guys are saying that you're done with whatever it is, whatever preparations you wanted to make. You of course already have your arms and armor, any magic items I gave you. You have all your possessions with you. It's just a matter of if you wanted to talk to anybody else, if you wanted to do anything else before you're sent halfway across the continent.
Okay. Sure. Let's just sort of shuffle over to them.
They hear you approach, and they turn. Calkin addresses you. Sprouting Hops. It's good that it was good that you signed up for this mission. I'm honestly surprised. You don't seem to have the zealous drive that some of the others have.
Honestly, just walked into town for noodles and saw you all standing around, so... This one...
Well...
He's here by circumstance.
He got talked into a suicide mission.
Well, the Oracle chose you for a reason, so... It is good, then, that you walked in for noodles.
Correct.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of there's no such thing as coincidence?
Everything's a coincidence.
Well, I am, for one, happy that fate has guided you to us.
I'm not.
You will be, I'm sure. First arrow to the knee and you'll be fine.
All right, so
That's a marriage proposal.
does everyone else walk over to the group of priests?
Yeah, I'll walk over.
All right. Yeah. Once you all are assembled again, Kelkin looks back at you, Sprouting Hops. Now it is important that you do not open the scroll until it's time to perform the ritual.
Why?
Lest you waste the power of our ultimate weapon.
Oh, so you just open it and it does, no reading required?
Oh no, there is a very intense and complicated and involved ritual that you will have to perform.
And
why is everything such an involved ritual?
Does anybody else have any?
It was an involved
training?
It was an involved ritual that presented this problem, this state of living that we are in 5 years ago. It will take something even more powerful to undo it.
And we know how to use this.
Yes.
Okay.
It's essentially the way true rituals work in Scarred Lands is it's almost like a role-played spell that would cast. So it's very powerful. It can sometimes be even more powerful than like a 9th level spell, which it would be in this case. But it's not just something that like takes an action to cast and like you kind of like, oh yeah, I just cast like, lightning bolt and like, it happens. It's like, I pray to my god and there might be like a check that would be involved with you trying to intercede with on your case Belsmith to get them to help out with this ritual. There might be like an arcane our religion check involved in order to start casting and writing the glyphs involved. The ritual might be written in Celestial, so someone might need to be able to read Celestial. Like, there's a ton involved with the ritual. So it's something that's very powerful. It's going to happen, and technically any cleric would be able to do it. So that's why they consulted the Oracle to see which clerics should be sent. So he warns you, not to open it until you're ready. And then he looks at Belios and he just kind of nods and Whenever you're ready, Brother Belios. And then he's a much older man. He kind of steps forward. All right, everyone interlock your hands. And he kind of offers up his two very wrinkly, liver-spotted hands. And you all join hands, form a small circle. And Aster, you recognize the spell being cast. That was the one you were just telling your friends about. As Belios starts to mutter a prayer to Sethris, and then in a flash of divine radiance, all of you, plus Belios and Kelkin, are transported from where you're standing into the light dissipates, and the room you're standing in is very similar. It looks like a prayer hall as well, but it has is very low ceiling, and it just seems very claustrophobic and packed in. There's a small altar that there seems to be the feet of the altar seem to be wrapped in what look like spider webs, and crawling along top of it, almost looking like flowing water, are hundreds of spiders that seem to make up the actual altar itself. And Belios kind of drops to one knee as the spell's expended, and Kelkin tries to help him up, and he's just like, no, old friend, we talked about this. It was the necessary price. And you're kind of all looking at each other, just kind of taking in your surroundings, seeing where you are, where you hear a voice kind of that comes from nowhere. Who enters the temple of Sethris? And Belios kind of stands upright, the most upright he's stood the entire time you've kind of been with him. I do, Belios, priest of you. You have revealed one of our secrets, and there is a price that must be paid. And Belios just nods. And you see him just start to fade away into nothingness. Kelkin looks to the rest of you. The price has been paid. Another good cleric, another good soldier, another good non-dead person is gone. It's just but another one of many sacrifices has been made to keep you all to this point. Remember that when you get into the city. He then, from inside of his robe, pulls out this rod that is this sickly black color. It seems to kind of emanate this freezing cold, and you feel your heart quicken as you look at it, and your heart kind of flutters almost like it's a weak heartbeat. And for some of you, you start to sweat profusely. You just kind of have that feeling of like when you have like a flu coming on. And he kind of holds out the rod. Now, all of you, take hold.
I think this is the first time I've felt seasick in my whole life. And then Hasdrubal takes hold.
Okay.
Looks a little chilly. It's not going to hurt, is it?
Is the only way to get you into the city.
Terrifying.
He reaches out.
Okay.
Mysterious. Who wouldn't want to? Grab this.
Okay. Aster, do you take hold as well?
Yes.
As you all take hold, Kelkin lets go of it so that only you are now holding it. And he mutters some words under his breath. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
Do not.
Good question.
Do not.
Nope, don't.
Okay, so you're not sure what he says. You recognize the language as Abyssal. And you're all just kind of like, what? And then this, not pain, but that fluttering of your heart and that sweat and that just kind of dry taste in your mouth all intensifies until finally you are all slowly, your eyes roll to the back of your head, blackness tugs at the corner of your eyes, and you are all unconscious.
Tricked.
You all wake up alive, or at least, yes, alive. You look around the room that you are in. It is somber and dark, holds none of the architecture or stylings of any of the buildings that you would be known of. None of any temples that you have ever worshipped at or led worship at. None of the common architecture of houses or buildings of any cities you know of. It is all dark and pointed. All the stone is black with, you see traces of, looks to be gold maybe in it. It's all sharp angles though, and it seems to make, at least this room that you're in, makes it seem like it's bigger than it actually is. There's lots of areas that have dark shadows, and all the pillars and arch stylings in this room seem very archaic and gothic, and there's supports that seem to serve no purpose, just a way of showing off and adding just this kind of gloom feeling to the room. You all realize that you are in this kind of pile of something. You're not sure. And you kind of stop looking around the room, see what you're in. Some of you you're able to spot each other and kind of like do the quick, like, are you okay? Like, okay. And you realize that this pile of whatever you're in, it just takes one movement of trying to stand up, and you press in. It's a familiar feeling, but one that's weird. And you pick up something that's in the pile, and you see that it's a hand. And you look, there's a foot, and there's a whole body, several whole bodies in this pile. You've been dumped into a pile of bodies, it seems.
Gross.
You all kind of muffle that scream that wants to come out of you. And then as you look around, you see the only other feature worth knowing in this room. There seems to be a largish table, once again, made of black stone, sharp angles on the joints. And there are two hooded figures working, and they seem to be grabbing various parts from a wheelbarrow that they've pulled up next to the table, and are kind of almost playing like it's a puzzle, trying to put pieces together. And when they finally do, they thumb through their spell books, cast a spell, and a zombie rises off the table, walks out, and they proceed to repeat the procedure, finding pieces, putting them together.
Is there any way to sort of sneak crawl along the bodies to make it towards that location?
Yeah, they seem pretty involved in their work. Every now and then they kind of talk to one another, and they do that thing where like they stick like the arm to the shoulder, like, nah, and they put it back in the wheelbarrow, look for another arm. So it looks like it might be possible to attempt to at least get closer without them noticing.
Okay. Also, do I still have the scroll on me?
Yes. Yeah. That's the first. If you use Spartan, that's the first thing you like pat yourself down for, like, oh my god, what happened? You do have the scroll still.
No, he's actually just like, damn it.
Okay.
Damn responsibility. So Sparty Hops will start to like sneak his way up towards that altar.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Oh.
If you have heavy armor or anything like that, make sure you are doing disadvantage. I don't remember if you do or not.
What am I wearing?
If you look at the sheet I gave you, it should say...
Oh. Shield, chainmail. I know that doesn't have a penalty because I looked it up today. Natural 20.
Okay. So you kind of just very slowly, snake-like almost, just putting each arm in front of you, slowly commando crawl, just like you would in the plains of Leonidel, where you're from, or Manticore are all from, and just using the natural movements of your body, you're able to just kind of slither against this stone floor, and able to get pretty close to the table where they're working at.
Okay. Are they within reach?
Yeah, I'll say that you can get, like, once you get underneath the table, then you can definitely feel like you can get close to them within reach.
Can I produce flame on one of their robes?
Sure. Well, I'm assuming not necessarily the intention of like damaging them per se, but just trying to set their robe on fire.
Yeah, it's not attack. It's just set you on fire.
Okay. Absolutely. You can 100% do that without having to do a roll or anything. So
that is what I do.
You just kind of reach and you think of Tennille, and then the robe. It's a very small blaze at first, but then it just starts spreading up and up. Are you gonna stay there? Or are you gonna try to back away?
You said I was under the table?
Uh-huh.
Let's stay under the table for a moment just to see what happens.
Okay. So they're still working, and from here you can hear clearly what they're saying. It's just like, the person you set fire to hasn't noticed yet. So they're just like, oh, gosh, why do we have to keep doing this? We have like 3 million soldiers. Surely, like, the 10 soldiers we're gonna make today is not gonna make any difference. And then the other person's just like, oh, come on. You know this is the best way to get in the good graces. We fucked up, and this is how we're going to get back, and everyone's friends. Merryweather, I really hate when you open your mouth. And then there's that moment of... And then he looks down. Holy shit, I'm on fire. Merryweather, flip through the book. He's just kind of like jumping up and down in place, like flip through the spell book. Surely there's a water cantrip in there somewhere. Come on, look. He's like, just give me, yeah, okay, I'm going, Pontius, I'm going. He just flip, and he's like starting to like run in like small little circles. He's like, faster, please. It's spreading, and he's kind of like starting to like rip at it, and there's like a dagger on the table that they use to, help make pieces fit. And he like starts like going to like slash his robes off. He's like, any day now, Merryweather. And he's like, oh, okay, I found it. And then he mutters an arcane incantation, and water goes and puts out the fire. It's no longer a robe, and more of like it gets like a dress almost. It cuts off right before his knees. He's just like, okay, all right, not on fire anymore. He's like, what the hell was that? And he goes to like start to, you can see him approach, and he's like gonna look underneath the table.
I'm gonna wait till he's actually underneath the, like, looking at me, and just be like, hello, and ring of ram him in the face.
Okay, so the one named Pontius is what is, like, there's just so many chemicals, you just don't know what's in here. And he sticks his head underneath, and you can tell he's definitely not expecting to see a manticora underneath the table. So there's that moment where he's just looking at you, you're looking at him, and you need to do the hello, and you use the ring of the ram,
which produces a spectral ram's head and makes its attack with a roll of +7. So I rolled a 24. On a hit, for each charge you spend, the target takes 2d10 force damage and pushes 5 feet away from you. So I'll just use the one charge and hit him for 19 damage. 19 damage.
Okay. Excuse me. So you do that, and he's just like, so he goes from like not expecting a manticora head, and he's just like, Merryweather, and then the spectral ram's head just butts him straight in the face. He goes flying back 10 feet. He like kind of lands on his ass, and he looks over at his friend. And he's like, "There's a live one in there." And he's just like, "What are you talking about?" And he goes and he looks underneath the table as well.
Fucking ring and ram him too. That's a 23 for 11 damage.
So once again, boosh! He gets knocked flying back, lands on his ass. So now the two of them are just like sitting right next to each other perfectly. And since they're out, like sitting on the ground, they can see you, and they're just like, they both just kind of go.
Gonna crawl out and whip out my quarterstaff and kind of poke it at them to hold them down threateningly.
They're just kind of like, we're just students here.
Students of evil.
Well, that's actually like a really bad stereotype that necromancers are all evil.
Knocks him upside the head with my staff.
Ow!
Quick note, Hasdrubal is also going to pop out, and he is just going to aim his crossbow, not shoot, at the necromancers.
Okay, are the rest of you going to come out of the dead bodies as well?
Yes, Aster comes out and like they have their crossbow ready. They do look. If their party members have been looking at them during this, they would have noticed that they looked very distressed to be surrounded by these dead bodies. Patrick, I have a question. This room. What are the walls made out of? Are there any kind of things like hanging off the walls? Anything of that nature?
There doesn't seem to be any other kind of. The walls are like they're solid black stone with kind of like these gold detailing in it. That like, it's just kind of like designed. It doesn't show anything. But on the walls, there isn't really anything else. There's like there's a couple torches by the table so they can see what they're doing. But on the walls themselves, it's just nothing. This room is just designed to almost kind of have this dark kind of nastiness to it.
And how many, like, potentially, like, how many zombies could we make in this room?
There's a lot of body parts in the piles that you guys were in. You kind of like do just like quick math, like I mean, you could possibly make like 50 zombies out of this pile.
All right.
And Damien like grabs it. Damien's maul is like 2 feet from him, so he grabs it and then he starts leaning on it to get up. And he just like steps on a rotten arm, slips, and just like, Mother! It's fine. I'm fine. Nobody saw that. It's fine.
So they see the three of you come out of the pile of bodies as well, and the two of the Merryweather and Ponch just kind of look at each other like, "Did you do that? Did you do that? I can't make that many bodies." They're like, and they still have their hands up to you, Sprouting Hops. Like, did you bring friends? Because there's 3 bodies coming out of the dead bodies.
Where are we? Don't worry about the bodies. Where are these ones?
You are in the city of Glavide Hotel. This is the sanctum of the Grey Messiah.
Interesting. And what is your job?
We're just students.
Define students.
No, not. It's not. That being a necromancer doesn't make us evil.
Wax him on the head again.
It's like, ow! Yes, we are in Glavide Hotel, and yes, we did just conquer half of the continent, but that doesn't make us evil.
I have a question.
Yes.
You say you are students, but you're obviously performing duties outside of your study. Would you then characterize this as an internship of some sort?
I wish this was an internship because this would get us on the tower of wizards faster. No,
well,
this if we're gonna be complete, and like they've been whacked in the head a couple times now. One of the robes is probably like, listen, if we're gonna be completely honest, And he looks over at Merryweather. Merryweather's like, we're like getting punished. We, let's just say we accidentally brought back a body that shouldn't have been brought back because it was our teacher's sister. And he wasn't happy about seeing his sister undead. So now we have to come down here and we have to make zombies.
See, carry on.
And you've conquered half this area and brought much pain and suffering.
Well, technically that was all done before we were even students.
I mean,
It's not, look. We were just born in this city. That doesn't make us criminals.
I mean, okay, let's say
you would have ground to stand on, henchman A, if you weren't like 30.
Also,
First of all, not a henchman. I'm a student. Second of all, I look old, but really, we're both only like 25, which means the rust happened 5 years ago. I mean, it's 20. So like,
what did you think was going to happen?
they don't tell us that they're making
these people
a
get
deadly
reanimated.
disease
You conquered half the continent, and now what? They're just gonna go play, gonna go fucking frolic in the field somewhere? Like what? You're clearly not ignorant of this.
Okay, obviously we're not going to convince you that you shouldn't kill us. Can you just
will not kill you.
Can you just pick that you don't turn us into zombies, please?
Sure.
That's a punishment here, right? Is they don't just kill you, they bring you back as a zombie.
Oh, well, that's fine. Do we know where we're supposed to go?
Fine. Yes, you were told that you need to perform the ritual at the bottom of the Arcus Necropole.
I asked them, do they know where that's at?
They're like, yeah, but no one's ever been to the bottom before.
That, again, not pertinent. So...
Okay, all right. You know what? We're gonna be... Listen.
Sit and be silent. Draw this one a map.
Make an intimidation check.
Aster is going to walk closer to these guys and have their crossbow point blank at their heads, and I would like to attempt to assist in this intimidation.
You may roll with advantage.
I got 18.
18. So, the Manticore that has been just bullying them this entire time is now requesting to make a map. And they're kind of looking at each other like, I don't know, should we do it? And then the drow that has just been kind of silent this entire time just slowly walks up and puts the crossbow so they had to almost in unison, okay, we'll do it.
Excellent.
They tell you that there's only one way out, and they point to the giant double doors that are right there. Okay, but our teachers are on the other side of that door because they punished us, right? And we assume they're gonna come get us when our punishment's over. So here's the thing. There's 4 teachers: Arthur, Britta, Coltrane, and Dinah. They're kind of assholes, to be honest. Let's just put the cards on the table. But they may or may not be Merryweather, what's the word? Vampires.
They may or may not be vampires.
Okay, they may. They are.
Okay, I was gonna say it's very important that we ask ourselves: are they vampires or not? That seems a very important detail. Just saying.
They are. Okay, they are. Are you happy? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah, you have to figure out how to get past them.
Interesting.
And then once you're in the city, we're not kidding when we say the city is literally filled with undead. There are ghouls and vampires spawn and wraiths that just walk the city looking for living people that shouldn't be there. Now, the city does also have some living people in it, so it's not like being a living person walking the streets is completely out of place. But he stares at all of you are proud clerics of your gods. You have like your holy symbol just like blazoned upon your chest or your shield or your armor or whatever. They're like, you might stick out a little bit. Now the best way to get into the Arcus would probably be to go through the garden. He calls himself the Undead King, but that's kind of, let's just say that the politics of our dynasty hasn't been nailed down yet. But his name is Credes, and he has a garden. You want to go through the garden, that'll get you in the back way, and then from there, I don't know how to get down. I've actually never even been in the building, so neither of us have.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
Thank God. 15.
15. He does seem to be telling the truth, and from what you're hearing, this place sounds like the personal workshop and living quarters of both the person who calls himself the Undead King and any other high-ranking wizards and necromancers that he might entertain or call upon. And especially from what you've seen of these guys and how they, kind of how they handle themselves, they are very low in the totem pole. If they've been calling themselves students, they probably are. So there's no way they've even been invited inside that place. So it seems like they're telling the truth as far as they don't even know what's inside, let alone how to get to the bottom.
What do we do with these two?
This one has it taken care of. I'm going to geist them both.
And what does that do for our audience?
So basically, I place a magical command on them, which will be for them to subtly run against this whole operation here and start the revolution, more or less. And they're kind of forced to carry that out, else they'll take damage for the next 30 days.
Okay. So they kind of like you cast this. Is there a save involved, or is it only when they try to go against the thing there's a save?
There is no mention of a save. Oh, sorry. Must make a successful wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Which is gonna be
Oh, the wisdom save is not great.
16 apparently.
We got a 12 for Pontius and a 3 for Merryweather. Okay, yeah. So they are. So you kind of give them the command of, make zombies that no longer follow the rest of Glavito Tell. Start the revolution. Just like they're just zombies, though. I mean, you can only make like 4 a day.
That's fine.
Give them little revolutionary berets and move on.
Okay, and so what's funny is you tell them that they immediately pop up and get back to work, and you see them. What they do is there's this small bucket of what you hadn't seen before, of this kind of flesh-colored glass jewel of some sort, and they grab one, and they mutter a few arcane words, and they stick it into the chest cavity of the zombies they're creating, and then sew them up. And you see these zombies get off the table. Give me a Arcana check.
Any of us?
Yeah, anybody.
I am not the one to volunteer my Arcana for that.
A straight up 8.
Straight up 8.
I am not good at this.
Oh,
Okay,
I am.
maybe I should
I am.
Let's
roll.
say I think our knowledge domain cleric's okay at Arcana.
I would hope so.
Yes. Hold on. $22.
22. Absolutely. So you see them imbue this weird flesh-colored crystal into them. And the way the zombie gets off the table almost seems like it has like a purpose, not more than just like the undead follow necromancer's commands purpose, but almost like you see almost like a spark of like personality behind the eyes, and the kind of the way it walks off to go stand in like against the wall. It doesn't like shamble or like trip over itself. It walks normally. And it actually, when it gets to the wall, it actually like leans against it. It's almost like it's waiting. It's very interesting. This is definitely not like a normal zombie.
And the one we saw them create earlier was a normal zombie?
It was a normal. Like it got off the table, it was just like, it zombied.
Kind of lean down and look at these. What are these things?
Would I know those are?
No, so the Arcana was just to notice the subtle differences in the way that a zombie is acting. They're like, this is something the necromancers came up with. It's kind of, and they kind of look at each other like, I don't know. You determine whether or not how you feel about this, but it like puts a modicum of sentience back into them. So like they're this weird state of death and undeath where like they have personalities, and sometimes we've even observed them having goals, but they're still zombies. The necromancers here like to tinker, and this is their latest thing. This is the only way I can make it so they're free-willed and they'll do what you told them to.
Interesting.
So, if you're okay with giving a piece of a soul back to an undead creature, we can keep making these.
Oh, by the way, we need your clothes. These ones
what?
need your clothes. Yes. Give us your robes. Give these ones your clothes. Your robes.
Whatever. At this point, whatever. And they they take off their robes, and they're kind of just like both standing there, like, they're not naked. They have like undergarments, but they're just kind of like,
Right.
Okay.
I hand them over to one of the other more humanoid-looking clerics. Go into the next room and cast daylight, like your life depends on it.
Forget, what are you? John's a dwarf, so you can choose between the dwarf, the elf, and the tiefling.
Elf and tiefling are probably about their same size.
Yeah.
Are the same size as Gomer and Pyle here?
Yeah, the Conscious and Merryweather are both humans.
Conscious
so
and Merryweather. Great names.
How tall are they?
Like 5'10" to 6 foot.
Oh, yeah, so when Aster takes one of these robes, like I imagine they took... Pontus was the one who burned, right?
Yes.
So
that one's more like, that one goes to above the knees as opposed to going down to the ankles.
It would probably go down to the ankles, or like at least like mid leg or so.
Oh, okay. Is Aster short?
Aster's pretty short. Aster's like 5 foot.
Oh, okay. All right. So perfect.
Tiny.
So it's a good thing those robes burned then.
That's why they took those ones.
Okay. All right. So yes, Aster and Hasdrubal, you both have the robes of a student of Glavid Hotel.
What's the spell that I'm thinking about that does damage to undead and just brightens up the room?
Daylight is the spell, I believe.
Is it?
Daylight doesn't do damage.
Yeah.
Creates a
It
little
does damage
daylight.
to my eyes.
That's very true. I'm assuming things that are weak to daylight would actually take damage, but it doesn't.
Well, daylight creates. No, it doesn't create sunlight. It's just daylight. What is it? Oh, sunbeam maybe.
That's it.
Yeah,
Sunbeam.
there it
I
is.
think it's sunbeam. I don't know. Do you guys
Or
have 6
dawn?
level spells? I don't know if you have 6 level spells.
We do. We have one.
Yeah, that's why Aster is like, I have a way to get us out, but I have to save my highest spell to do it.
Yeah, and John is right. There's also dawn. Dawn is another one that creates sunlight.
Oh. I'm trying to think of whatever one does, like...
Both do damage. Dawn and sunbeam both do damage. It's just whether or not you want to be shooting a beam or you want to create like a cylinder in a spot.
Oh, no. Okay, vampires take damage in daylight. Okay, so we can use daylight. Alright, cool. Cool. Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, so what's the plan here?
They can walk into the room, somebody casts daylight, and then we get the jump on it.
Alright, did anyone prepare
Easy
daylight?
squeezy. I
Or I guess, did anyone prepare dawn or sunbeam?
dawn or something. I got daylight.
Ironically, I have darkness.
Okay.
Useful. Useful.
But that's because I'm a drow.
I have daylight prepared, but not dawn. I just used up my 5th level spells.
Yeah, I've got daylight.
Okay. So,
Okay. That'll have to do.
yeah, that'll have to do.
Third level against 5th level. Oh, if that works. Oh, jeez.
Oh, I do have dawn.
Oh,
Oh,
dawn's
there you
even
go.
better. There you go.
4
You're doing
D10
both.
damage.
Yeah. Alright. Into the next room.
Aster will kind of like stand behind Hasdral, and just kind of like put their arm up like this, and like kind of like use yourself to block the spell from them. Because
See how well that works.
like I'm like
All right.
so literally I'm like this like.
All right, so it's almost like Strike Team-esque. Hasdrubal kind of 2, 3, and then bust open the doors. There's 4 very surprised humanoid shapes that turn and look at you. Immediately hiss bare fangs. I'm assuming you're going to go ahead and cast on.
Right on him.
All right.
Do we all get one action?
We're going to say just the dawn.
Okay.
Will go off here before everything else starts to happen. So, we're going to see if they can save against the dawn. Which disadvantage have disadvantage while in sunlight. Okay.
30-foot radius. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, disadvantage is still very high. It's a con saving throw, I think, is for dawn. Yes. I rolled a 19 for one of them. Fail for the second. Fail for the third.
Uh-huh.
Fail for the fourth. All right, so only one of them saves. So go ahead and roll the damage.
That would be 22 total.
Okay.
So 22 and 11.
So we got our turn. Britta, Coltrane, and Dinah. Archer succeeded, so he took 11 damage.
Which, by the way, Coltrane is a really great name. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. So the spell goes off, and just there. This room is as far as radius goes, quite small, but it does completely open up to the skies, and so seemingly like coming down from the very heavens itself, this pillar of sunlight just smashes down into the room directly on top of all four vampires in a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder. So this fills the entire room.
That is awesome.
And it washes down upon them. You see actually the smoke and steam sort of come off their skins. They all recoil. Artur seems to doing the best in it, but they all are immediately kind of just and everyone now needs to roll initiative.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I'm going on 18.
What is initiative again?
Is a d20 plus your dex.
Okay. Just making sure, because I'm like, that's +0. Is that correct? No, that's correct.
I got 7.
16.
Running hops.
16.
Who has the higher dex between Aster and what's your character's name again, John?
Damien.
That's right.
I think I do because you said you have a +0.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a +1. So
Okay.
I'm like a step ahead of you.
How's your brawl? You said got what again?
18 total.
Okay.
So I
Jeez.
rolled a 14 plus 4 dex.
Nice. All right, let me roll for my vampires here.
I also kind of like that our initiative order makes sense, since Hugo
He's first
went,
on the gun.
well, and I was like right behind him.
It does make sense, yeah.
All right. So initiative is going to be Dinah the vampire first, followed by Hasdrubal.
Sorry, who's going ahead of me?
Dinah the vampire. Then Aster. Then Damien. Then Artur the vampire. Then Britta the vampire. Then Coltrane the vampire. Then Sprouting Hops.
We're done.
That's is that a Gears of War reference?
Coltrane? Yes. That
I
is
love
where-
it. Yes.
That is where I did get that name from.
Oh,
Is-
okay.
That and the jazz player.
Please tell me Britta is like water
Yes, that is-
purifier.
No,
That's what I
Britta,
was thinking too. I was like,
Britta-
Britta water.
no, Britta is from Community. And
Fair.
hello, Vorpal Tales. Hi, Vorpal Tales. This is Vorpal Tales. Thanks for reading.
What?
That
Jeez.
makes no sense whatsoever.
Crazy talk up in here.
All right, so Dinah the vampire is starting her turn in sunlight. Wow, it's just straight damage they take? Holy shit. Okay, so she takes some damage from just starting her turn in daylight. Ow.
Gross.
Well, that doesn't go off because they're in daylight. Okay, you're really fucking them pretty hard here. But,
Yeah, if they end their turn in that cylinder, they're fucked.
which they have to because this entire room is filled with that. Okay, well they're going to try to end this daylight as quickly as possible, and she's going to swarm on over to Hasdrubal, and she's going to attack you with her bite and her claw. So we're going to roll the red d20 for the bite. Nice and red, crimson. Does a 19 hit you, Hasdrubal?
Yes, it does.
Ha ha ha! Excellent.
Oh.
Actually, I did this wrong. It is not. That will instead be not for the bite, for the unarmed strike. So it's not going to be as bad. Take 10 bludgeoning damage, and then their claw-like hand, the nails that extended, digs into your chest, and they will grapple you. And now they will attempt to bite you. Does a 21 hit you? It does, because a 19 hit you.
Yeah, it does.
So you're going to take... You take 12 piercing damage as the fangs sink into your neck, and then take I rolled really low for that. 4 necrotic damage, which also reduces your maximum hit points by 4.
I do have resistance to necrotic.
Okay, so take 2 and reduce your total hit points by 2. Okay, and they will heal for...
That mechanic is fucking brutal, by the way. Because, like, if you take 2 and you also get reduced by 2, that means you're taking 4. And you can't heal 2. Like, that's insane.
Sorry, how much
No.
piercing damage was that?
It was, I think I said 12 piercing
Gotcha.
damage.
Yes.
Okay. You will need to make 2 concentration checks for Dawn, as they have attacked you twice now. So just roll a d20 and add your con saving number.
So that is a 17 for the first one. 17 total.
Okay, that succeeds.
Here we go. And that is a 17 again.
Okay, so Dawn is still up, which means the vampire is ending their turn in the daylight.
Roll 46 again.
So roll 4d10 again.
Oh yeah, 40-10, sorry.
That's going to be 32.
32.
That's almost max damage. What the hell?
I rolled 2 10s and a 9.
Nice.
Nice.
Done.
Okay, so
Wow.
parts of Britta are actually like sizzled away. Like there's a chunk of her shoulder missing, and like her face is like the cheek is like hollowed out. You can actually see like her vampire skull almost, and she's just like she drew a little blood from you, and it's like she felt like a modicum better. But as the sunlight just keeps pouring down on her, she is not looking great. Hasdrubal, you are currently grappled by Dinah. It is your turn. So just a reminder, grapple moves your speed to 0. And I believe that's the only really negative thing it does. Yes, so your speed is 0. You can choose to take an action to attempt to break the grapple.
I will go ahead and do that.
Okay, so you may give me an athletics or acrobatics check versus their athletics.
That is going to be a 23 total from me.
23.
Yeah.
I rolled a 22.
Ah.
So you successfully break the grapple. And it's just
Nice.
this moment of like her claws are dug into you and she's still got her mouth on your neck. And you're just like, no, get the hell off me. And you just kind of like slash down and break some of her fingernails and then just bam, just smack her right in the face. And it pokes into that little hole that was created from the Dawn spell. You actually like feel skull kind of break a little bit. And she just kind of reels off of you, but you are free. So you have your movement and a bonus action.
Moving away from her will cause an attack of opportunity.
That is correct.
Perfect. I will move away from her.
Okay, she will take. Apparently, you have something in store for her, but she does not know that. So she's going to take the attack of opportunity. Does 24 hit you? Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
You said it hit you. So you'll take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Rough.
Beautiful. She is going to have to do a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
Oh, is
So,
this the
Not,
Tempest
not
ability?
great. 12.
So Tempest Cleric's reaction is Wrath of the Storm.
Okay.
And when a creature within 5 feet that you can see hits you with an attack, I'm assuming I can see this individual,
Yes. Oh, it is very bright in here. Yes.
you can use your reaction to cause the creature to make a dex saving throw and takes 2d8 on lightning or thunder damage. That's going to be lightning.
Okay.
And it because of one of my Tempest Cleric traits, allows me to just automatically do the maximum damage. So that's going to be 16 on a failure, half damage.
So you'll take 16 lightning damage.
Let me go ahead and put my feet up here for this combat. I think we're done here.
So, like, she tries to strike back at you as you kind of twist away from her and move back. And as she does connect, as soon as she touches you, it's like touching a live wire. And just a few bits of hair she has on her head that's left from the sizzling sun, all of that just goes away. And you actually, it's almost like looking at an x-ray of her briefly as the lightning surges through her body. You can see all of her bones and her skeleton momentarily. And then finally she's like just forced to let go of you as you move away. And she is just this melting, electrified, pimp-slapped vampire that is not having a good day.
I almost feel bad. almost feel bad.
Almost.
You do have to make a concentration check. You did take damage on the opportunity attack, so give me a concentration check again, which is a Constitution saving throw. I'm sure you're going to make it, but just for the off chance my vampires have a chance here.
Unfortunately, I think I failed that. I rolled a 6 total.
6 total? You do fail. The DC
Sorry, 8 total. 8 total.
The DC is 10 or half the damage, whichever is higher. You took like 4 damage, so what's higher is 10, so you have to beat 10. And 8 is lower than 10, which means the Dawn spell drops. And as soon as it drops, it goes back to being pitch black in here. And you just hear where Dinah was like basically on her deathbed, you hear this gurgled kind of cackle come out of her as the tables have turned.
She's almost
Good
dead, but
job.
she's cackling. Okay.
Okay. That is your action, bonus action, and movement. So we're going to move on to Aster. It's no longer blinding your eyes to be in this room, Aster. You're in familiar territory with the dark.
What I'm going to do first. So when I cast spells, I can do a cantrip and then an attack, right?
No. So your action can be to either cast a spell or like making a melee attack or a ranged attack. You won't be able to do both unless one of your spells is a bonus action. So like you could make an attack and then cast a spell that says it's a bonus action.
Here's what I'm gonna do is all right. Because what I am going to do for my turn is I have 2 companions after me. I am what is the radius of this room?
It's about the 30-foot radius spell took the entire room, but it's not that big. I'd say it's probably about 45 feet diameter. So like what is that? 22-foot radius, 22.5-foot radius.
Something like
Okay. Okay. What I'm going to do for my turn is I am going to cast Dancing Lights.
Okay.
And set out like 4 like balls of light to like each corner of the room.
Okay.
Each have a 10-foot radius, like, of vision.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be my action.
Okay.
And so
it is no longer pitch black in here. There's enough light to kind of be able to believe blinding lights goes off dim light. So there's enough light to be able to dimly see in here.
Yes. And for my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on Rain.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it at first level.
Okay. So that'll be 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability.
8. You are healed for 8 points of. I did max healing on Healing Word.
Nice. All right, so you may heal for 8 Hasdrubal. Alrighty. That is Aster's turn. Damien, it is your turn.
Alright, so there's 3 almost non-wounded vampires and 1 very bad looking. So my movement is going to be to get in between the wounded vampire and one of their friends, if I can do that.
Okay, sure.
And then I want to cast Daylight on the non-wounded vampire. And like we already talked about this again, it doesn't do any damage, but it is literally daylight. And I think that's
him.
It does. It's going to be right on top of his head. And it's going to be on his head the entire time.
So it gets cast like on a person and follows them.
Yeah.
It's 60 feet and it follows an object. So I'm going to make that object hit the top of his head.
Okay. I'll allow that. So you cast Daylight. So once again, the room was completely filled with a super bright light, and the vampires that had just gone from misery to rejoicing go right back to misery as it is once again way too bright in this room for them.
No damage, but there's a lot of like.
Nope. There will be damage. Don't worry. It's a coming.
Yeah. If they are in sunlight, the rules are even more fucked.
No.
Okay.
There's a big blurb right here on the vampire stat card. It's like if they're in sunlight, you don't want that. Don't let your vampires fight in sunlight.
There.
Okay, so that's your action and movement. No bonus action?
I do not believe so, no.
All right, it is the vampire Artur's turn. He is starting his turn in daylight, so he'll take this much damage. All right, and he's not very happy about that. So he's once again going to go to the cause of the daylight and is going to attempt to attack you, Damien. So first he's going to start with his claw attack. That's not very good. Does a 15 hit you?
Does not.
Okay, so he's going to come in with his other claw attack.
Fair.
That's definitely going to hit. Does a 27 hit you?
I want to say no. In my heart says
Sure.
no.
Sure. But your
Yeah.
character sheet says yes.
Hell of a roll if you got disadvantage and still a 27.
Yeah, no, he rolled very well for that one.
Jesus. Okay.
It was like two 18s or something like that.
Jesus.
Okay, so he's gonna not deal damage, but instead grapple you. So you are grappled.
Okay, no damage, also.
No damage.
Con save. Okay.
And now it is Britta's turn. Britta the vampire. Britta the vampire sees. She starts her turn in daylight, so that's not great. Ouch. She is not looking great at all. She is going to seek her vengeance on Hasdrubal over here, and she will attempt to claw attack you. That's gonna miss. She's gonna try again. Wow, that's gonna miss too. You got very lucky there with the disadvantage from being in the daylight. It was like a 17 and a 1, and then a 19 and a 1. So she's just like, she can't even keep her eyes open at this point. In fact, with how much damage she's taken, her eyes have just been burned completely out at this point. And so she's just like wildly swinging at where she last thought you were, but is completely whiffing. Coltrane, the vampire, is going to go, and he takes this much damage for being in the sun. And he will attempt to go after. He's going to try to spread the pain a little bit. He's going to go after Sprouting Hops.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Does an 18 hit you, Sprouting Hops?
Defender wins?
Yes, Defender wins ties.
I win.
Damn it. Okay. And then less than 18. All right. So he's like, he still has his eyes, but they're just so hypersensitive that he reaches out, but you just very kind of easily push him back with your quarterstaff. And speaking of Sprouting Hops, it is your turn.
Is it possible to move without getting attacked to kill steal the original one that we were messing up?
Coltrane would take an attack of opportunity at you because he is right in your face.
And
he would be at disadvantage. So
I'll attack Coltrane then. Does a 22 hit?
Yes, it does.
All right, he takes 13 fire damage as I flame him in the face.
Flame him in the face using create flame or
produce flame. Yeah.
All right, 13 fire damage for the Coltrane. Okay. It's like so much stuff that vampires have that does not work in daylight. It's amazing. Okay. It is Dinah the vampire's turn. She takes this much damage for starting her turn in daylight. She's going to go over and help with Damien, the new source of the light. So at disadvantage, she's going to attempt to strike at you with a 15.
Does not hit.
And less than that. Okay, so this daylight is just fucking them up pretty hard here. Hasdrubal, it is your turn. You have 2 vampires on you, I believe.
We're currently surrounded by. They're currently in daylight. Is that
yes? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Once again, the radius effect of the spell is much larger than the room itself, so the entire room is bathed in daylight.
Perfect. That's fine by me. I was expecting having to do the thing again. So this is going to be a bit of a silly question, but if I summon a storm cloud, will that make the daylight go away?
No, because the
Yeah,
daylight comes
technically-
from under the cloud.
The way it works is like there's basically a mini sun hanging on one of the vampires' heads. So your storm cloud would go above that. So it would still remain. It would be like a Florida sun shower at that point.
My favorite kind of weather, actually. It's been so long since I've seen a sun shower. It's gonna be call lightning from me.
Okay. So you
and
just see
I-
Hugo reach their hand up into the sky. A storm cloud slowly starts to form into this this room that has no ceiling. A storm cloud slowly starts to form, and you just see him bring his arm down in one motion, and a lightning bolt follows it and strikes down on one of the vampires. Which one are you attacking? Britta is the one that is looking quite bad.
It's gonna be Britta. Well,
Of course it is.
who's closest to me, actually?
Just Britta. Just whack Britta.
Britta and Britta and Dinah are the one. I'm done. Yeah, Britta and Dinah are the ones who are attempting to murder you currently.
So I'm trying to think strategically here. In that case, I'm gonna hit Coltrane. Well, is there anyone who's looking a little isolated? Because I don't want to hit a friendly by.
They're all currently engaged in melee with somebody.
Two of them are engaged in melee with me. I'm
Yeah,
fine
two-
with it. If that means it, if that means anything, I'm fine with it. Go ahead and zap my butt.
Well, good luck. I'm gonna hit Coltrane with Call Lightning.
I believe it's a Dex saving throw.
That is correct. Each creature within 5 feet of Coltrane.
All right. I will make
Sorry,
my-
Jonathan.
Oh, you good?
Ooh,
You're fine.
he 100% fails.
I'm also going to be casting this with a 5th level spell slot.
Oh
Oh.
damn!
Okay.
Oh damn!
All right.
Oh, this is going to be bad for you, Jonathan. I'm so sorry.
I failed. I definitely failed.
Oh my
13 doesn't make it. So let's bring on some pain, then roll a Constitution save.
That's true. He is the source of your daylight. This is great. I love it.
So, did the other vampire fella fail as
Yes.
well? Okay.
Yes.
Well, everyone who fails takes 50 lightning damage.
Oh my
50?
god! Wow.
Yeah.
Ah!
What?
I'm not gonna bother rolling this. Okay, I can get a natural 20. Does that even do it?
So what's your Constitution saving throw? What's your adder for con saving?
+2.
Nope. Even if you rolled a natural 20,
Okay, so it doesn't.
it would be
the way I want it
22
to,
total, and you have to beat half the damage, which is 25.
Which is 20. Daylight goes up.
Okay.
No, daylight's not a
So-
concentration spell, so it's fine.
Oh, isn't it?
Is that not
Yeah.
a concentration spell?
It's not
Okay.
a concentration spell.
That's good to know. Good to know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank God.
All right.
You
So
just
what
sit-
happens?
You
What
just see
happens
all
is-
of, all of the metal, because he's got a really long beard and a bunch of metal, little baubles on his beard. They all just immediately cling together as they've been magnetized.
I'm sorry.
So there's
You're
this,
good.
there's this moment where this just giant lightning bolt falls to the ground, and it hits all three of them. And there's this moment where Damien is just kind of like keeping his eyes closed because he's fearful that daylight's gone. Then he opens his eyes and is like, bright again. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
There's still light here. Okay, so 3 of the vampires look really bad. Like really
I
bad.
hope so. After taking 50 points, Jesus.
Okay. Anything else I do on your turn? Hasbro? That seemed pretty good, but just case there's anything else you wanted to do.
That's gonna be fine for me. I don't. If Dinah and Britta are gonna go after me on their turn, which I'm pretty sure they will, I'm gonna do some reactions, but I'll save that for when it comes up.
Okay. It is Aster's turn.
All right. So, here's my question. Who is the closest to me as far as our vampiric companions?
They'd all probably pretty much be equidistant from you. There's no, they kind of each rushed to a vampire, had a vampire rush to them, so they're about equidistant.
All right. I'm going to. Who looks the least rough?
Probably Sprouting Hops.
No. The vampires.
Oh, that would be Dinah.
Dinah looks the least worse off.
Yes.
All right, I am going to hit Dinah with a guiding bolt.
All right, guiding bolt. So you will roll to hit with guiding bolt.
Hattie, I just saw you gave me inspiring leader. Are you crazy?
You said you wanted to be like this weird kind of like all over the place character. That's an all over the place ability. I want to see how I want to see how your character inspires. That's why I gave it to you. All right, so this one says that you ones should.
He's gonna. These ones are probably going to die, but for the better of mankind.
Okay, this one is ready to go.
Okay, I'm gonna do it second level, and that is a 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
Excellent. That is radiant damage.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Radiant damage.
And it is 18 points of damage.
Okay.
And also, the next attack roll made against this target before the end of my next turn has advantage, thanks to the mystical dim light glittering on the target until then.
All right. So Aster kind of coalesces this ball of energy, unleashes it towards Dinah the vampire, and it splashes across her, filling her with radiant energy. But then there's also this lingering blackish purple glitter that is all over her body that will make it so that the next attack you have against her will have advantage. Nicely done. Anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Bonus action healing word on Damien.
Okay.
Appreciate
So,
it.
if you're doing it first level, 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
5 points of healing.
Not bad.
Like it doesn't feel 50, but it's
It's all right.
It's something. All right, Damien, it is your turn.
Okay. So he's gonna look at the vampire grappling and then just tell him, "Oh, you're grappling me," and he's gonna swing a hammer at him
Okay.
twice.
The first attack, the first one will have advantage.
Let's see here. We got a natural 19.
Okay. Plus your stuff, that definitely hits.
15 plus strength, I'm assuming, so 18.
18 does hit as well.
Alright, so we'll do some damage. We got 2d6 plus 4. 9 points. I'm going to do some stuff before this, though. So to start off, we got 5 and 7 points, which is 12, right off the top of my head.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my Channel Divinity, Touch of Death, I'm going to add an extra 29 points of necrotic damage.
Okay, so I think you have something to combat this. They are resistant to necrotic damage.
But I have
you have an ability, though.
Inescapable destruction, which means that it ignores all resistances, all necrotic damage.
Okay. I was pretty sure. I just wanted to double check. All right, so you do this thing where you bash in the head with the hammer. Which one was grappling you again? I forget.
Oh, geez, I don't remember.
I think it was. Was it? We're gonna say it was. Coltrane.
Okay.
All right.
I do have one more thing to do.
Sure. Is another attack?
It's another ability I can pump into it.
Okay. Go ahead.
If he's not dead, even if he isn't, he'll take an extra 3 necrotic damage because of Divine Strike.
All right. So you just bash in the head once. You kind of like is dazed, and bash in the head the second time. The second time, the maul actually cracks the skull in, and just all that necrotic energy just starts getting infused. And it's this weird picture of like this undead being that, prides itself in necrotic energy and lives off necrotic energy. You see it actually just kind of undo all of the skin around the vampire's head as it just slowly goes down until there's not but a skeleton. And since it is in sunlight, it does not get its misty escape. So the bones that are left behind after your necrotic energy dissolves all the flesh just immediately turn to dust in the sunlight. And that vampire is completely vanquished.
Okay, so to be clear, that's reducing a creature's hit points to 0, correct?
That is, yep.
So I'm going to take another melee swing at another creature if I'm within.
I gave you great weapon master, didn't I?
You did.
Nice.
I believe the other one on you is Artur.
So that doesn't hit. Don't mind me.
Okay.
I think I've done enough.
Boom, boom. This guy just gets completely vaporized. You're like, ha ha ha, and almost like an afterthought. You kind of like swing the maul behind you, but it does not connect. Okay. I hesitate to ask, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn?
Just look at use the momentum of the hammer to turn around. Oh shit! You're still here.
Seeing one of their own just completely. Well, Artur starts his turn in daylight, so he takes that much damage. Seeing one of their own, these are vampires. They have been beaten before, but they're always able to escape and go back to their crypt and reform and find a new body. But seeing what just happened to their friend there, they realize that they are truly fighting for their lives here. So they're gonna try to go all out here and try to get you here. Nope, that misses. That misses as well. And they cannot miss the escape. They can't polymorph. They can't do any of these things. They can't call in back. Yep, can't do any of those things. It's all in daylight. So I mean, they realize that this is probably the end for them, but it is what it is. Britta takes this much damage starting in daylight. Britta is like literally just kind of like limping along, like chunks of her leg missing, chunks of her arms missing. You can see clearly into her face. She's almost like Two-Face-esque now. Half of her face melted away. She will still, on her deathbed, swipe away at Hasdrubal. Does a 20 hit?
You're darn tootin' it hits.
Okay, so she will grapple you. And now she's going to try to bite you.
She is gonna have to do that dex throw.
Okay. She'll get disadvantage. That's definitely a fail.
That's only 9 lightning damage total.
Oh, only 9.
Only 9.
Which is actually enough to defeat her. And once again, the lightning kind of courses through her body, and you see it just go rigid, fall forward, and then the sunlight just finishes the job it had been doing and just turns her into dust as well.
Unfortunately, I ran out of channel divinities, so no more automatic max damage.
Oh,
That's
I think 50 points is worth it. Channel divinity, Jesus.
Agree.
Sprouting Hops, it is your turn.
you said there was the one dude that was sort of blocking my way or transition, right?
Yes.
I'm going to guiding light him in the face with a 25 to hit,
Oh, yeah.
and that is a 20 damage, radiant damage.
Good lord. Okay. That was Artur, and he is not looking very good. The guiding bolt just kind of washes across him and turns back around, and it's just a pure skull now. Anything else in your turn, Sprouting Hops?
He's still in my way, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just kind of face off against him then.
Okay. It's Dinah's turn. She's starting to turn daylight. She takes that much damage. She's gonna try to finish the job on. Well, not finish. She's gonna attempt to do something against Damien here. Nope, that's a miss. Ooh, does a 21 hit you?
Yeah. Give me
Okay.
that damage.
Nope, she'll just grapple you.
Okay. You see how well that worked out for your friend. I don't really think you want to be doing that.
Just she can't even make her voice box has been burned away from the sun at this point. How's your ball? You've got one vampire that is basically about to be turned to dust, and the other one who's not looking so great either.
I am going to. Everyone's like still pretty packed together, right?
Yes.
I'm getting big hugs.
Because like the last thing I want to do is like kill one of my buddies here.
You could probably hit both vampires and then either Sprouting Hops or Damien.
So bear in mind that I don't have to hit a person. I hit a spot.
That's true. Yeah, so if you hit a spot, then you could probably get just both vampires then.
I will do that, and I'm so sorry, Jonathan, for not realizing that earlier. I genuinely had a brain fart. This is my first time playing a cleric. I'm so sorry.
No, you're all good, and I think it's thematically appropriate because he was literally like on top of me. He was grabbing me, so like I think you're gonna hit me regardless.
Okay.
They both failed their saves.
That is going to be, well, shoot, I cast this using a 5th level spell slot, right?
Yes, you did.
It's going to be a 22.
22. All right, that is enough to finish the job on Artur and vaporize him. And Dinah is not long for this world either. Aster, it's your turn. Just you and one vampire between freedom. Well,
sorry. Ray, would you mind if I try and do a quick thing, trying to wrap up the fight? If you'd rather get the kill shot in, that's totally cool. Go ahead.
Huh? You win this entire fight. Let somebody else do it.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. So
Give us the coup de grace.
It's Dinah, right?
Yep.
I'm going to once again guiding bolt. And that is a... That was kind of... That is a 21 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
It'll be second level again.
Okay.
And it is... ...16 points of damage. Radiant damage.
That is enough. And with that, please describe how Dinah is destroyed.
Ironically, she looks like she's being covered in moonlight, and you hear you think you hear a lullaby, and the full moon comes out, and instead of healing her, it vaporizes her.
Nice. So just combination of like sunlight reflecting off the moonlight and coming together in this one just giant beam that just it's a slow motion, just disappearing act of what is left of her. And Damien dismisses the daylight. You all kind of look around. There's a lot more dust on the floor than there was before, but no vampires. One door leads ahead. You peek through, look out. You can see for the first time an outsider has laid eyes in the city in the last 5 years, the city of Glavide Hotel. And so we'll take a very small break. It is 4:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to take a small break, about 5 to 7 minutes, and we'll be right back to see if our heroes, the A-men, can get through the rest of the city, get where they need to go, and perform the ritual that will allow semblance of normalcy, to come back to the world of Skarn.
Oh,
all right, we'll be right back.
I get it. Amen.
The Amen.
Because we're all clerics.
Yes.
I do want to
Welcome back to our one-shot for the Onyx Path Virtual Con of Dead Man's Rust, taking place in Scarredlands. Our heroes, the A-Men, had just finished vanquishing 4 vampires that stood between them and the city streets of Glavide Hotel. Peering outside of the building that you're in, you can see these city streets, and they're empty. It is as if the city itself is empty. You quickly slide out from behind them.
Wait, no. I'm going to spend
Oh.
10 minutes and doing inspiring leader.
Okay, perfect. We'll see. Yeah, I meant to say that you all can have a short rest.
Okay,
For free. So during that short rest, please inspire the troops.
So I know those clerics who aren't here doing the job, who could be doing the job, but we're too scared to do the job. You're not scared to do the job. All of these ones came with this one, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do the job. I know those ones said that it was a suicide mission, but don't think of it as a suicide mission. We are put on this earth to live. We should not die. But if you are to die, go out in a blaze of glory, so that way everybody remembers what you did, and it'll be sung by all the bards. It will be great. But this
Hear,
one, I
hear.
have no plans to die.
But what if we all die?
Well, I mean, this one is not concerned with that,
Fair, we're all gonna live. Got it.
right?
And you are all inspired, and you may have how many temporary hit points?
15. These ones are
I'll-
going to live forever.
All of you may have 15. I'm gonna live forever hit points.
Screaming Wolverine doesn't run out that door.
Question.
That goes into your temporary hit points pile.
Yeah.
And then you were taking a short rest, so any abilities you get back on a short rest, you may have them back. And then specifically, mostly for Damien, if you'd like to use hit dice to heal, you may do
Yes,
so. This opportunity.
please.
Spells don't come back on a short rest, right?
Not for clerics, they do not.
No, but Channel Divinity does.
Yes, Channel Divinity does come back.
Oh, okay. Well, that's going to be fun. How many
So
uses
more-
of that do we have?
I believe you have 2 at 12th level.
Okay. Maybe I'm missing it.
It might be 3, but I think it's 2.
I heard 3, so.
Channel Divinity. Twice.
I heard 3. Arguing a court of law. I have it recorded.
It's true, but you did not. I did not consent to be recorded. So, all right. So after you have been inspired by your inspiring leader, you slip to the side streets of Glavide Hotel. And,
Also, were there any robes or anything like that we can don so that we don't stand out?
no, the robes the vampires were wearing were incinerated along with the rest of their bodies.
There's not like a
Uh,
cupboard with, extra robes?
Not in that room.
Not like lunch break robes or...
Uh-uh.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So you stick to the side alleys and side streets as you start darting your way from building to building, getting closer to the building that was described to you by Pontius and Merryweather. It's not until you get closer to some of the main bigger buildings that you start to see shapes, humanoid shapes in the streets, but the relief or the calm that would normally bring is replaced when you get closer and see that these are actually shambling skeletons and zombies, ghouls and ghasts that travel in packs and let off their stinking ooze into the world. You see what are clearly newborn vampires that also flit from alley to alley, staying as while there's no sun. It's perpetually overcast here. It's still uncomfortable for those who have sunlight sensitivity. It doesn't actually hurt you or damage you if you're a vampire or anything like that, but it is kind of one of those squint your eyes moments. And last of all, every now and then you see a wraith just phase out of a building, go down the streets, the other undead making way for it as the vengeful spirits make sure that none dare to invade the city of the necromancers. All of you, please, can give me, for those of you who want to try it stealthily, give me a stealth check. For those of you who kind of want to use, just your natural city smarts and abilities to navigate a city, you can give me survival.
Oh, I like that. 22.
As it's not like, okay, nice. As it's not just a pure stealth thing. And yes, moving silently is going to be helpful, but if you know how buildings work and how one leads to another, and just kind of have some city smarts, some street smarts, that would help as well, remaining hidden.
I will choose my survival for this.
Okay.
17.
Okay. 22, 17. What do we got from
17 from
17?
House
All right, 22, 17, 17. And let's see what Aster does.
Let's see, survival.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So those are all very high numbers. So just the knowing how general cities are built and the layouts of construction, even though these particular buildings themselves are foreign to you, cities are still laid out in the same general sense. And you're able to get closer to what was described to you as a 12-foot wall of marble. And it stands out quite easily, as most of these buildings are made of either a dark kind of a dark wood or dark stone. This white marble shines like a sore thumb almost. You get closer, and you know that this is the wall that encircles Cretus's garden, the back entrance to the Arcus Necropoli.
Does the name of this person ring a bell?
Give me a history check. Anybody can give me this if they'd like.
History. This one knows nothing about that one.
23.
23? Okay. Went to 23. Aster, this name is quite famous in the history of Skarn. Cretus is known as the Undead King, sometimes the Skeleton King, and was one of the original necromancers that was forcibly evicted from Hallowfaust, the city of good necromancers, and kind of just told, hey, your experiment's pretty fucked, you need to leave. And they were exiled from the city. They traveled the Hornsaw Forest for a year. They finally found an ancient city that they could kind of start to build up and fortify. They fought off Titan spawn that tried to attack them, and then resurrected them as their loyal subjects, undead, that they then used to help defend themselves. And as more and more Titan spawn came and attacked them, they just had more and more soldiers to use. They then tricked one of the groups that lived inside the Hornsaw to attack a neighboring city, so they got decimated, and that allowed the Glevido Tel to finally establish the full boundary of the city. And Cretus, the necrotic king, the skeleton king, the undead king, kind of raised himself as head of the city. And while the city is officially ruled by a full council of the senior necromancers, they kind of allow him this, like, I'm the best, I'm the original kind of title, because it makes him secure in himself so that they can kind of do their own things. But this building you're entering is like his personal laboratory that he uses to do all kind, and he is very well known for trying to push the limits of necromancy as far as new types of undead, new rituals. He's credited with performing the true ritual that caused the Legionnaires' Rust to exist and to wipe out the Hollow Knights and Hollow Legionnaires. So this is pretty bad dude.
Aster conveys us to all of them.
Okay. So you're all able to slip into what is known as the garden, past the wall.
I also have a yawn. A 23 passive perception.
Okay.
It's a hell of a passive perception.
Yeah. The garden itself is nearly 8 acres of land. It's not an original part. It was just built on afterwards. It was constructed solely to allow Kretis a place to put his favorite pieces of what he calls art. His necromantic experiments, the products of them, ones that may not serve a war purpose or practical purpose, just the ones that please him aesthetically. He places them here, arrayed into organically arranged paddocks for easy viewing. A visitor can stroll the grounds of the garden and get a true image of his taste in undead craftsmanship. There are more of those semi-sentient zombies that flit about the grounds, acting as gardeners and groundskeepers, making sure that the creatures and abominations here are kept secured and maintained. Some of the things in these gardens are truly unique that you could not find anywhere else in creation. There are impeccable examples of things that he found useful or magnificent or just odd or made him laugh. As you travel through, you point out some of these things are quite obviously pointed out, and you can't help but stop and look at them. One of them seems to be a pile of blood that forms into a roughly humanoid shape. Arms, legs, a mouth and face forms in the blood as it stands upright and kind of hobbles over to the gate, and you all kind of stop and just look at it, and just dissolves back into a puddle and moves back to the middle. Another paddock further down has several piles of skeleton bones that, as you get close, they all start to whirl and form together into this bone tornado that whips around the paddock it's in, and then just the tornado loses its form and the piles of bones form neatly again where they had come from. There's a section of trees that are roped off that seem to be made of human flesh. They instead of weeping sap, they weep blood. There is a phoenix, or what was maybe a phoenix at one point, that seems to work in reverse. It gets younger and younger, and when it is an egg, it bursts in flame, and an old wizened bird with several feathers missing and cataracts in its eyes comes to being. And finally, right before the entrance into the Arcus proper, there's a large, almost looks like human-sized chessboard with zombies on both sides. And as you get closer, all of you being clerics of the various gods recognize they are dressed as the main pantheon, each of them carrying the weapon of their god. And you see on the other side of the chessboard creatures dressed in the garments and armaments of the Titans. And as the clock strikes the half hour and the hour, the two sides charge at each other in a pitched war where they fight. And you can't help but stop and watch this as the gods and the Titans fight one another. Finally, the gods stand over the Titan bodies. And then, as if they're wound clockwork toys, they go back to their correct sides and stand motionless again. You enter the door into the Arcus proper. There's stairs that go up, stairs that go down. There are doors littered along the entrance here that you've walked into from the garden. You need to do this at the bottom of the Arcus, so you go down. And down you go for what seems flights and flights, stories and stories. Passing by some of the rooms, you look in on one. The sign above the door is called the Loom. And as you look in, you see several more, what you now know to be the student robes of students, using devices and wheelbarrows and buckets of body parts, forming undead of various means and sorts. Zombies, ghouls. Sometimes the occasional revenant is formed as they come, and there is a binding circle of souls that they imbue into some of these bodies. Travel down further. You see a room labeled the Menagerie. You look in, and like a butcher's shop or a tannery, you see all the different types of flesh that could be chosen from. You see them clearly marked and labeled, neatly sorted. Orc, elf, dwarf. All the races represented. Even several Titan spawn bodies are ripped open, and there are different various parts available. You see the claws of a blood reaper. You see the horn of a horn saw horse. You see the strong tentacles of a jungle squid. All kinds of horrors. Continue going down until the spiral staircase you've been traveling opens up into a large floor. Columns dot the outside of this room. It's actually surprisingly well lit. In the center of this room, you see a very large circle with what seems to be arcane glyphs scratched into the ground. Scratched with the various chalks and inks that are necessary for a ritual of some sort. Forming a pentagram in the center, you see piles of armor that look like they've been rusted long ago. And in the center of that pentagram, in the center of the circle, there is a body. And as your footsteps approach, it stirs. And the body is not so much a body as it is another set of armor. But there seems to be a bluish glowing soul in it. You've not seen something like this in 5 years, for it is a hollow legionnaire. And as you watch, you see its body and the armor that makes up a hollow legionnaire's body. It slowly is rusting into nothingness and then reverts its process back to being pristine. It just goes back and forth, and it is until you get closer that you hear the constant moan of the soul trapped in it. And as you go to cross the room to the next set of stairs that lead down, a strained voice comes from that armor. Hello? Is there someone there? Please, answer me. Hello.
Yes, what do you need?
Oh, God. My name is Stelios. And I have been here for years. Please, you must free me.
How would I go about doing that?
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. Come on. Give me that. +1. Alright. 18.
18. You look at the scene before you. You see all the components. You see this Hollow Legionnaire that you know that their race had gone extinct from the Legionnaire's Rest. This is the original true. This is the site of the original true ritual that created the Legionnaire's Rest. And as you look, you realize that this Legionnaire is part of that ritual, and while he is alive, he could not be saved.
And forgive my ignorance, but what does one have to do to make this person pass from this world to the next?
So what Hollow Legionnaires are? They are fallen warriors and spirits that were so pure or so strong that are brought back and are imbued upon a set of armor and are given the purpose to pursue justice and follow the tenets and the cords of the gods. They are constructs. They are not actual, living, breathing. They're sentient, but they're not living, breathing beings. They're constructs.
Is there a way to undo his bindings to this?
From your 18 Arcana check, there would not be a way to. He is encased and used as he's a fuel source for this ritual that was performed long ago.
Are we at the bottom?
Not yet. There are stairs that continue to go down.
Okay.
This is definitely the site where the ritual was performed all those years ago.
So me being a dumb cleric, I honestly don't want to do this until is there any way through violence or any sort of way for me to, if I hit this guy with my hammer, is he going to, is the spirit going to disappear? Is it going to be destroyed?
No. He's essentially dead already. There's just nothing you can do for him, except maybe whatever your ritual will do.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm gonna kneel down next to him, and I'm gonna. I'm gonna say there's no way for me to undo this as of right now. We are attempting to remove this curse that befalls you. I am sorry we have to leave you here for the moment.
Just no. So many have come and tried to do something. No one's ever come back from me. Please, at least end this.
Man, I don't want
to. Is it possible to resurrect him with a spell?
Let me double check here before I speak.
Not that any of us have it.
The only, as Hall Legionnaires worked very closely with the clergy. Mm-hmm. That is part of the Legion's price. Their spirit fades away from their armor, and the only way they can be brought back is through a resurrection spell.
Okay.
And are you sure that's what you want? And
Anything. Oh, just do something, please.
God, my character is not the most intelligent person ever.
None of us can do. Well, none of these ones can do what he asks. We should continue.
Okay. Out of character for a moment. I can kill him though, right?
No. So
Okay, so you can't do anything to him at all.
Yeah, there's literally nothing to be able to do to him.
Could we do something to the circle that he's bound to?
So this essentially, like, this was the site of the true ritual.
Yeah.
He was a fuel source to create the disease. The disease already been created. The ritual is done. He is basically like
Caught in a constant loop.
Yeah, he's the equivalent of an empty gas can. Like, he was a fuel source that was expended, but as part of the horror of this ritual, he still exists in this constant agony, even though he has no more purpose. And as part of being used as this fuel source, there's nothing you can do to affect him. He's just essentially, he is this cursed, horrible, in between death and life kind of being at this point.
I am truly sorry. You know as well as I do, I can't hurt you. I can't put an end to this. We have to do our job here, which is to end this curse. And hopefully, when it's done, that will end you as well.
Okay. Go down. You have just a few more floors to go.
I am sorry. Be strong, brother. He just kind of claps his hand on the arm, and he walks away.
Okay. All of you finish crossing the room to the stairs that continue going down. And finally, they level out, and you are in what seems to be the original crypt of the city that they built the Vito Hotel over. A city of whatever ancient beings lived here before even the Divine War. It's cold. And it's more cave-like than an actual room. There are stalactites and stalagmites. There are no other, and there's no other doors. There's no other places to go.
This is it?
This is it.
Well, you got that fancy scroll. Let's be done with this.
Gonna walk out.
Man deserves peace, at least.
Walk out into the center. I imagine there is some center to this room.
Yeah, you could, find the equivalent of the center.
Cool. Walk out in the center. Snap open that wax seal and see what and unfurl it.
Okay. You unfurl it, and immediately it's as if you've been hit by this. It's almost as if you're entering the astral plane. The way the knowledge of whatever is written on the scroll hits your body, and it's kind of this, it's that moment in Doctor Strange where she punches Doctor Strange out of his body, and he's just kind of floating there.
Okay.
And you're watching yourself read the scroll. It is written in an ancient language that you have never seen before, maybe even heard of before. It is written in It is written in ancient Ledian, which is one of the first civilizations that ever existed in the world of Skarn.
Okay.
And it is this kind of flowing script of like, it's more of like, instead of telling you this is what you need to do, it's like telling a story almost. And you all watch as Sprouting Hops kind of like broke the seal on the scroll, opened it, started reading it. And you see him, without explaining what he's doing to any of you, just kind of like reach into his pocket, pull out some of the special inks and chalks that are used for rituals. And he starts writing, once again in ancient Ledian, in the dead language, one that no one knows, in this giant circle, and is making basically your ritual circle. Once the circle writing is done, your spirit, your astral form, comes back to your body. You kind of, that's weird. You basically, as soon as you finish the last line of the last glyph, this happens, and you look at like what you've written, and you know that you could never like reproduce this, even if you tried. And you now know that you can now give the directions on what needs to be done next. And all the four of you go about setting up candles, putting down ancient trinkets made of gold and silver, and some mithril items, some adamantium items, all placed in particular spots. Symbols of all of your gods, symbols of some of the gods not represented. A large symbol to Corian. The ever-pointed sun is painted in the middle of your circle. And it's as you're finishing getting the physical components of this ritual done that you hear creaking coming down the stairs. Sounds like a heavy, weighted, armored boot. And you look, and you see coming from across the way, you all had moved to the center of this room, so a distance away, coming down the stairs, this large, fully plated being, where the slit where the eyes are, all that comes out are two red glowing orbs, and a shroud of shadow covers their entire body. Their cloak that billows out behind them has actual eyes that are darting around and looking. The armor has points and sculpted bit. It looks like it's been like he withstood like a fire breath, and the melted armor that remained made these impressions and different shapes on his armor. You see on the hip a giant sword that is at least 1.5 feet wide and 5 feet long. You see a giant shield on its back that has the symbol of a spider web, and on the spider web 3 different spiders, all kind of making a triangle on it. And it hits the last step of the staircase, and it just looks at all of you. Then it looks at the circle, and it raises its hand to the ceiling above you and just starts slowly bringing it down, curling his fingers in.
To spell magic. Right, that's not counterspell. Fuck.
That's not counterspell.
Damn it!
Slowly bringing his fingers to a fist. The ceiling above you rumbles, creaks, shakes, and you all kind of prepare and wait for some of the like tights are the ones on the top. You kind of like wait, expecting some of them maybe to fall, but instead the ceiling just parts. And coming out from the part, you hear a cursed, horrible, awful, just what someone would do if they're trying to mimic a dragon's roar. And falling out of it is the skeleton of a dragon. The armored figure runs, hops on the dragon's back. Everyone needs to roll initiative.
Wait, did this guy just call a bone dragon and hop on its back?
You look, no words escape from either of their mouths. But being the cleric that you are, knowing the powers that lie within this city, you know that to be a Draco Lich, and its rider to be a death. Its rider to be a Death Knight.
Interesting. Cool.
I'm on 18.
Okay.
Got an 11.
15.
What you got, Damien?
12.
Death Knight.
Anyone here a fan of Dark Souls?
Alright, it's the best video game ever.
I'm thinking like Nameless King in Dark Souls 3, just with that giant dragon.
Draco Lich. Got that much. All right. Hasdrubal will be going first.
That's gonna be Call Lightning on 6th level spell slot. Firing with Channel Divinity.
All right, give me 1 second.
Bring us strong. I like it.
Yep. Dracolich shows up, just start busting out the big guns.
Yeah, but what if he actually is like the Nameless King, and he just absorbs all that lightning?
Well, then my character's obsolete, and I'm gonna go get lunch. well, you guys just dodge roll for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
You heal while we do everything else.
Yeah, that'll be it.
All right. So
Take the dodge action.
as the Draco Lich kind of lets the Death Knight mount it and ride it like its rider, starting hops. You look at the rest of the scroll, and you've just been reading it line by line. But with this new complication, you read the whole thing, and you know what the ritual, what remains for the ritual to complete. It requires you to infuse 10 levels of Cure Wounds.
10 levels of Cure Wounds.
10 levels of Greater Restoration.
Wait, like the second part? Need 2 second? What?
Okay, so cumulative between all of you.
Okay.
You must cast 10 levels worth of Cure Wounds. And then cumulative between all of you, you must cast. So like you could cast you could cast 3 separate castings of first level Cure Wounds. Then Damien could do like 2 castings of second level Cure. However you want to work it out.
Okay.
Just 10 levels combined. You must cast 10 levels worth of Greater Restoration, which is a 5th level spell. So basically, someone must cast that spell
Twice.
It tells you to cast twice between all the 4 of you.
Okay.
Then, once you've done that, you must all bury your holy symbols into the ground, which that is how you all cast magic. So once you bury your holy symbols into the ground, you would not be able to cast any more spells. And then once you've done that, you must all attempt your divine intervention. And then once that has been done, the ritual will be complete.
Okay.
Except, Sprouting Hops, you can. I'm assuming you convey this to all of them.
Yeah, shouting at the top of his lungs what needs to be done.
Okay. I'm going to side message you the last step of the ritual. It is up to you if you'd like to share that or not.
Fuck off!
It is up to you if you'd like to share that or not.
Not yet.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be initiative-based combat / ritual casting. So what's going to happen is it's going to be just like normal initiative for fights. Everyone's going to go in initiative order, and then you can either attempt to combat the Death Knight and Draco Lich, who is their goal is to stop all of you, or you can contribute to the ritual by doing your casting and saying I contribute to the ritual by casting Cure Wounds at X level or Greater Restoration at X level. Okay? All right. Hasdrubal, you may go first. I want to tell you all that before you committed to your Call Lightning.
I'm looking at this, looking at my goddess's alignment. I'm thinking Hasdrubal's, moral calculus is still gonna fall in favor of Call Lightning.
Okay.
If anyone
give me
seriously disagrees with that, please speak up now.
Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. That is 18.
18. You look at the Draco Lich that the Death Knight is riding, and you see that it is mainly skeleton, but you see that it has a little bit of its skin and some of its scales still attached to it. You see that what is on it is blue.
Oh, come on.
So you would know, before you cast a spell, that this Draco Lich would be immune to lightning damage.
Actually, and also, Sprouting Hops would tell you,
This is not the time to fight. This is the time to fight for everyone. And I hold that in my hands. I hold that in this one's hands. Do what the scroll says.
Well, against Hasdrubal's better instincts, he will take Sprouting Hops' advice and just cast Greater Restoration. Just kick us off.
All right. So we got Cure Wounds tracker and Greater Restoration tracker. We got 5. We got 5 of the 10 for Greater Restoration. All right.
question: does it
Yes.
have to be cast? You just cast it to cast it, or can you cast it on them just to be dicks?
No,
about
it needs to be specifically cast inside the circle to continue the ritual.
Okay.
It can't just be cast in the room somewhere. It needs to be within the ritual circle.
So you're casting it on the ritual circle. Got it.
Yes. And as you do, all of the objects you had pre-placed already they all start to glow, and they actually all become rooted, so they're no longer able to be knocked over or anything like that. I'm glad you started with that, because basically for the first 5 levels, the Draco Lich could just ran through the circle and just knocked all the shit over. Okay. And speaking of, it is the Draco Lich's turn.
Ew.
And it's going to start by throwing some lightning breath at you guys. I need everyone to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Is that in a line, or is it in a cone?
This one would be... This one is a line. So I will say 2 of you were in a line. And to make it fair, I'm going to roll a d4 twice to see who's in the line. We got Sprouting Hops at 1, Damien at 2, Hasdrubal at 3, and Aster at 4. So, d4 first time, 2. D4 the second time, 3. So Hasdrubal and Damien will have to give me the dexterity saving throws.
That's a 12 total from me.
Oh,
That is a fail, unfortunately.
Wait, hold on. Does a 14 succeed? Strong 14.
14 is also going to be a fail. Alright, we'll roll these d10s.
No, this is my shocked calm face.
I rolled low, so this is good for you guys.
And we have 15 temporary hit points.
Okay, that's much better.
Oh god.
Take 55 lightning damage.
Holy shit.
What if I only take 40 of that? We call it good.
You might be resistant to that, I think, Hasdrubal.
Somebody has
Are
to be.
Are you resistant to lightning damage? Really, is a Tempest Cleric not resistant to lightning damage?
That makes no sense.
Not on my sheet.
That... Okay, I have to double check it. That doesn't make sense to me. Hold on, let's see. Cleric. Tempest Domain. Huh, yeah. No, you don't gain resistance to lightning damage as Tempest Domain. Interesting. Okay. Well then take 55 lightning damage.
It is what it is.
Right, you only take 40 of that real time. You got temporary hit points to spend.
So you can actually, yeah, that's true. Make sure you take away from your temporary hit points first. So you actually see the electricity start to almost rebound off the ribs of the Draco Lich as it comes up and is expelled out of its mouth in this line that almost like belches it onto the ground, and it travels along the ground and it electrocutes both of you in the line. That would be its turn, though. We roll to see if it gets it back. Okay. All right. Aster, it is your turn.
Aster will contribute to the ritual
Okay.
and will cast. So we have 1 greater restoration and 1 cure wounds.
No cure wounds yet. Just greater restoration.
Oh, okay. We'll cast a cure wounds at first level.
First level. Okay. Alrighty. Anything with your bonus action?
Hold on. No, nothing with my bonus action.
Okay. I'll even let you if you want. Just so you know, you can cast Cure Wounds at like a higher level if you wanted to contribute more at one time. So like you could cast Cure Wounds at 5th level if you wanted to.
And like with that, adding like numerically to the spell.
Yes. So like if you
Okay.
wanted to cast Cure Wounds at a 5th level, that'd give you 5 of your 10 that you need.
Oh, in that case, I see. I'm going to cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
So to give us
Alrighty.
four cure wounds.
So Ash just kind of drops to one knee immediately, puts their palm into the ground, and the divine energy flows out of their hand, out of every single finger, as it spreads to all the items in the circle. And you can see the Draco Lich looks past the smoking bodies of Damien and Hasdrubal, and is intent upon making sure that whatever you're attempting is going to fail. Damien, it is your turn.
I have a question. If I wanted to cast Mass Cure Wounds and contribute, could I also like heal myself and Lorraine?
So Mass Cure Wounds would not help the ritual.
Okay.
Only specifically Cure Wounds would.
Well, I think we can take another breath shot, right? Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to do Cure Wounds at 5th level.
Okay.
Into the circle.
All right. So you have 9 of your Cure Wound levels for your ritual of your 10.
I'm gonna let everyone know I can't cast Greater Restoration. Somebody else has to save that 5th level spot and do it.
Okay. So once again, the energy pours out of you, and at this point, there's actually a physical circle that has lifted out from the arcane sigils, and is starting to slowly rotate. And every now and then, a beam of radiance shoots off, ricochets into the ceiling, and bits of rock fall. Seems that this ritual truly is gaining power, and there's a lot of power behind it. That was your action, Damien. Anything for a bonus action?
Nope, I'm good.
Sprouting Hops, it is your turn.
Got to cast Blade Barrier. I'm gonna cast it in a circle. Gonna make sure that it lands on that stupid dragon and his stupid Death Knight.
Okay, what does Blade Barrier do?
It is, you create a vertical wall of whirling razor-sharp blades made of magical energy. The wall appears within range and lasts for the duration, which is up to 10 minutes. You can make a straight wall up to, not making a straight wall, or a ring wall up to 60 feet in diameter, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
60 feet in diameter? Yeah, you absolutely can make sure you get both of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the wall provides 3/4 cover to creatures behind it, and its space is difficult terrain. When a creature enters the wall's area, and this is important, for the first time on a turn or starts their turn there, the creature must make a dexterity saving throw. On a fail save, the creature takes 10 slashing damage. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage.
Okay. So we'll roll at the start of its turn. All right, so it's your action. Anything with your bonus action or movement, Sprouting Hops?
No, that's it.
Okay. It is the Death Knight's turn. So it's starting its turn there. So it will make it's a dexterity save.
Yes.
Okay. It has magic resistance, so we'll get to make this save at advantage.
Piss bucket.
That's cocked. Okay. At advantage, we got a 23.
Lame.
But it still takes half the damage, right?
Yeah, it still takes half, so that is takes 30 damage. Or half damage, 15.
Okay, 15 damage. You see the blades, most of them kind of bounce off the plate armor and make this horrible screeching sound, but some of it are able to find the spaces in between the interlocking plates. You just see kind of flecks of green come out of the Death Knight. But it will just hold up its hands, and this dark, blackish red, looks like lava and magma coalescing with the occasional spark comes a small ball that slowly forms bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, forms in his hand, and just it shoots out in this hellfire orb, lands in the middle of all of you in a 20-foot radius sphere. All of you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no, I crit failed.
Luckily, there's no extra bad for crit failing, but so a fail.
Yay, 21.
17.
21 is success. 17 is a failure. What you got, Damien?
Dexterity, we got a hardy 8.
Hardy 8 will fail. All right, so the failures are going to take full damage. Successes are going to take half damage. So it's going to be it's all one attack, but it's 2 damage types. So I'm going to tell you the 2 damage types. It's fire and necrotic damage, for those who might have resistances to those. So the first is going to be the fire.
I got resistance to both.
What? Oh, you know what?
Tiefling.
I am going to use my reaction and use Dampen Elements.
Okay.
He's not within my mace's reach, is he?
No.
Okay.
He's still riding the Dracolich. Okay, the fire damage is 30.
Okay.
So if you're resistant or you're using something that allows you to resist it, you're taking 15. Or and then if also for you, Sprouting Hops, if you succeeded, you're taking half again, so you take 7 fire damage.
Oh, wow. Okay.
As the halving from succeeding is different from any resistances or things like that you might have.
Okay, so full damage is what?
30.
Full damage for the fire is 30. So if you have any resistances or anything like that, you half it. And then now we're gonna do the necrotic damage.
Please, less than 30. Please, less than 30.
Not looking good.
Oh, no.
That was a good roll. Necrotic damage, the full is 43. So if you are
I'm down.
resistant, you get half of 43, which would be 21. And then if you are absorbing it through anything else you might have, you half it again to 10.
I'm dying.
So
Okay.
73 points of damage.
Yeah, if you're not resistant to any of it, yeah, 73 is the full. So Damien and Hasdrubal both fall to the ground unconscious. Okay, that is the Death Knight's turn. Because he's just going to stay on his Draco Lich and chill.
You don't care.
Hasdrubal, it is your turn. I will need you to make a death saving throw, please. So all it is, you just roll a straight d20.
That is 11.
11 is a success. So mark one success on the death saving throw tracker. It is the Draco Lich's turn, however. And
Still?
well, it was the Death Knight, and now it's the Draco Lich. This is the second round of combat.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah. All right. And it did get its lightning breath back, which it's going to attempt to use to put down the last two standing. So I need dexterity saving throws from the last two standing.
Good luck, fam.
Right?
Well, that's a nat 20.
Woo!
22.
Nat 20, baby.
Not 20 plus 1.
Okay, so you both succeed. So you both take half of this. That's a bad roll. Okay. Good start. Well, it's a good start for you guys. Ooh, okay, there we go. The full damage is 47. So you both succeeded. So that is 23 lightning damage.
Oh, okay.
And then if you have, I don't know if you can resist it, or if you're resistant to it, or you have an ability that allows you to absorb part of it, that would half it again. Okay. Let's see if it gets its lightning breath back. It does not.
Cool.
But it will flap its undead, bony, barely flesh-covered wings and take to the air. Aster, it is your turn.
I'm going to contribute to the ritual.
Okay. You only need one more level of Cure Wounds or one more casting of Greater Restoration.
I am going to Greater Restoration.
Okay. That is all the Greater Restoration you guys need. And having one part of this of the ritual complete, the circle actually becomes a full pillar of light now. And since none of you had moved from the pillar, you were all within the circle still, everyone in the pillar gains 10 hit points.
Refuse them.
Okay.
I
you
don't know
have-
about that. That
you don't-
seems
you don't
kind of
have-
sus.
You don't have to. You don't have to take them if you don't want.
I'm telling everybody to refuse them.
Okay.
Okay.
You don't have to take them. I
I'm
guess.
dead, damn it.
Hasdrubal is gonna take them. I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
Sprouting Hops is literally going to tell you, resist it.
Well, he's unconscious, so
Yeah,
it kind of just
Hasdrubal's
happens.
unconscious.
Oh, he is? Okay, then, alright.
So is Damien. Damien was unconscious too. The both of them just kind of take it.
What?
Uh,
Why? Why do we have to resist it?
I'll tell you in a second.
Damien, it is your turn.
That was in character.
One more level of Cure Wounds.
Yep. And
I'm
then you have to
just-
start. Then you have to start bearing your holy symbols.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah. Fucking suicide mission. God damn it. Okay. Slam a Cure Wound into it.
All
Ready,
right.
man. I want to go be a pirate with like my pirate goddess.
So now the pillar of light now extends and it runs along the roof now, and now this entire room that was very dark is now lit up with radiant light. And you see the kind of the Draco Lich just kind of recoil a little bit in the air, but it still maintains. And you see the Death Knight just unsheath its giant greatsword as it knows that time is running out. And despite their best efforts, this ritual is moving along. Since another step of the ritual is complete, you all heal another 10 HP.
Lovely.
We were supposed to resist.
I was. You can't really resist. Like it's just the divine energy fills you all, and you heal.
I resist it.
It is Sprouting
Choose
Hop's
disbelief.
turn.
We only need one more.
Nope. So all the spells have been cast. So now at this point, you all need to bury your holy symbols and then attempt divine intervention.
Could I
Is
have
that-
done bonus action?
Yeah, is that gonna what are
divine
the actions?
intervention?
Red like that?
Yes. So everyone, clerics have an ability that's just called
No,
literally.
no, I know what
divine
it is.
intervention.
I missed
okay.
that part of it. Okay, so you have to. When you say attempt, does it have to succeed?
No. Specifically, when I'm saying attempt.
Okay.
Thank God.
Basically, by saying that, it's like you're all, praying at the same time. Essentially, is what's going to
Okay.
happen.
Okay.
And the pushing the holy symbol, what kind of action is that going to be? Please say bonus action.
Well, it'll involve a check, and we'll see if it's a bonus
Okay.
action or an action.
Okay.
But it's Sprouting Hops. It is your turn.
We're not like on a crevasse or anything like that, are we?
No.
Okay. So it's all solid floor, everything?
Yes.
All right. Going to step out of the light, or at least move out of the light,
Okay.
bury my symbol, and then look at everyone like, we live through death. And then just sit down and try divine intervention.
Okay. So you would need to bury the holy symbol in the circle. So let's say you'll attempt
Right.
that before you move the circle. So give me. You may do it since you are a Manticore with claws. I will let you have advantage on an athletics check to attempt to bury a hole large enough, quickly enough, to bury your holy symbol.
Roll a skill to dig a hole.
D&D is great, yeah.
18.
Okay. Very quickly, just you rip through this like rock and dirt and compacted clay that's very it's rough and firm, but you're able to get through it. And what's the symbol of Tennille again?
Oh crap! I don't even remember. Probably a tree or nature, a leaf or something like that.
I got you. The symbol of Tennille is 3 parallel arrows of bronze, the middle one pointing opposite the other 2.
Okay, bury that, but
So you
don't. I don't cover the hole.
Okay, so you rip the holy symbol necklace off your neck, and you throw it into the hole, and then you sit down on the ground outside of the light and attempt divine intervention. Roll the D100, please.
You have to get under the thing.
Under your level, which is 12.
Oh, 12.
Like a 1 in 10 shot.
Divine Intervention's like a D100, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
I got
Did you
no
do it?
weapon. Yeah.
Oh my
Hey!
Oh, okay. All right, here's what happens. Sprouting Hops is like, we live through death. Sits on the ground, cross-legged, palms touching the ground, and you just see the body kind of starts listing backwards and forwards, and then you see the astral form of Sprouting Hops leave their body and start just rising up through the ceiling. Sprouting Hops, you are in the forever wilds of Tennille's domain, where there's an endless hunt. The wilderness grows unchecked but undangerous. All walk freely amongst the animals, both one day hunting them, one day... It's just this... You have an infinite amount of time that passes in seconds. Tennille steps out from behind a tree, having freshly killed a deer. Welcome, child.
Hey.
Let us.
Hey.
Hey.
Sup?
Hey.
All right, Foxy.
She just goes, "Let us hunt," and she adapts the form of a lion and starts running on all fours across the savannah. And she kind of like looks back, expecting you to join her.
Just picks a couple of berries off the tree and follows after him.
Okay. All right. It is the Death Knight's turn. He unsheathes the giant greatsword, hops off of the Draco Lich, and goes down, attempting to stab through the body. We'll say he's going to stab towards Hasdrubal.
Yup. Come at me.
Hopping off the dragon.
That's a hearty 20 points you got there.
Let's see.
Be a shame.
I got 13 points, son.
Oh, 13, excuse me.
Excuse me,
Uh,
13.
Okay, that's a 28 to hit.
Yeah, okay.
Tell him no. Tell him no. That's a secret tag. Tell him no.
Okay. So, there is a chance you might live here. Okay, so I use a French D10, which has French numbers. I rolled which is 1. To take 6 slashing damage. As even though he has jumped off this Draco Lich, just like shish kebab you essentially. You kind of just like you're unconscious on the ground. You see it coming. You're just like, oh shit, and you roll over in time just enough where he actually just kind of stabs into your leg instead of straight through your chest. It hurts like hell, but you are still alive.
Can we say it goes through like his like midsection? It just misses all his valuable organs.
Sure, yeah, that's fine with me.
Because in that case, what Hasdrubal will do is that he will literally point and laugh at the Draco Lich.
All right, and it is your turn.
I am going to take my holy symbol, even as Hasdrubal is speared onto the ground.
Okay.
And push it into the ground.
All right.
And attempt divine intervention.
There's enough of a hole that was left from the sword that went into you and then subsequently into the ground. That like once you like lifted it up and you kind of roll over a little bit, you're just like, and you just shove the holy symbol into it, which is
Fucking idiot Death Knight.
Which is
says it's a sea claw, which I think means like a trident thing, but I'm interpreting as a literal crab claw, and
okay.
I'm thinking that Manaway is her description is a seductive and beautiful reaver, like a pirate lass, with a giant Davy Jones style crab claw.
Perfect. All right, roll your divine intervention, which is a D100.
Alright, good luck. Request of divine intervention IRL here. Well, I rolled a 69.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. So, Manaway does not appear to you, but you have performed the divine intervention as necessary by the ritual. So you're kind of just like waiting that maybe something that happened to Sprouting Hops happens. You just kind of just like,
this is fine.
This is fine.
I did my part.
Hopefully it works. Okay. It is the Draco Lich's turn. Did not get its lightning breath back.
Whatever will the Draco Lich do?
I'm
So
definitely feeling a
attempt
lack of pirate
to-
laugh in my life right now. But it's okay. That's how I'm
going
used
to
to that
attempt
feeling.
to tail down onto Hasdrubal, trying to finish the job basically.
And you were just getting slapped around, my man.
Which a 25 hits you, I think.
Yeah, definitely. I did my part. So like, if
It's
it's gotta
true.
hit somebody, like I'm glad it's me.
I mean,
Take-
thanks for being a team player, but damn, you getting picked on.
take 13 bludgeoning damage.
And with that, Hasdrubal is back under.
Okay, so Hadrigal is now unconscious. Seeing that, the Drake Lich is now going to trying to smash his tail down onto Damien. Which
This is fair.
does a 23 hit you?
Say no. Say
In
no.
reality, or
So you'll
in
take,
reality, it does.
take
In my
12
mind palace, it doesn't.
Take 12 bludgeoning damage.
Still up. Still up.
Yeah.
Still up.
Still
Okay.
up.
You took Drake Lich's best shots. All right, Aster, it is your turn.
All right. I pull out a picton
Okay.
and I just stab it into the ground, to make a hole
Okay.
and bury my holy symbol.
All right. Which the holy symbol of Urias is a stylized white crescent moon surrounded by 8 stars.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Throw into the ground. Now roll your divine intervention D100.
$78.
Okay, so you're not immediately visited by Urias, but once again, you feel the plea go out, and you feel like at least Urias has turned their head down towards the material plane. All right, Damien, it's all on you.
All right. So
Do the thing.
Damien's gonna take out his sledgehammer, literally like blood dripping from his mouth. And he's just gonna take one gigantic swing on the ground, smash it open, dig with his hands a little bit, put his symbol, which is a circle with a smaller circle in the north end of it, and inside of it, and put it in there. And he's going to look at the Draco Lich and the Death Knight, and just whisper a silent prayer of Mistress of Assassins, bring death to these undead fools.
All right,
He's going to
roll
cast Divine
D100.
Intervention. $73.
Okay. So, with that, the final divine intervention, the final prayer is uttered. This pillar of radiant energy that had been seeping along the ceiling and forming finally detonates a final blaze of energy. Crackles go everywhere. It washes over the Draco Lich. It washes over the Death Knight, both of them almost being immediately vaporized. And then it washes over the 3 of you that are, well, the 2 of you that are still conscious, and then Hasdrubal, who is in a state of between life and death. It washes over the body of Sprouting Hops. You all have saw his astral form no longer is tethered to it. And in the blinding white radiance, everything is finally silent. Everything is finally calm. You all realize that your mortal life has ended. But you look and blink and see that all of you are standing together again. The Amen. And as you look at each other, you're a bit shocked as all of you now have this bronze copperish skin, long red hair, and gigantic 20-foot wings that sprout out of your back. All of you carry radiant mithril longswords as you have been reborn as Solars, each in service to your god. At any one time, there are only 24 Solars in existence, and the 4 of you have been reborn as them. It seems that your gods have deemed you worthy to serve them forever in the divine realms for what you have done. And with the true and pure sight that you have gained as Solars, you look down upon the material plane. You see that Skarn is broken, bloodied, burning, but no longer ruled by the dynasty. No longer is the undead the main populace of the world. Finally, the living races have pushed them back with what must have been your help, the rituals of success. And you notice the gleaming valley once again. The spires are alight as the first Hollow Knights are being reborn into the world. Congratulations, Amen. Your mission a success, and your rewards appropriate. You are now the protectors of Skarn and the chosen champions of your gods.
Yeah.
That is where we'll end, perhaps being needed to be called upon again, but forever available as the Amen. Alrighty. We hope you all enjoyed our short tale. It went a little bit longer than it was supposed to, but if you love this game and want to check it out, you should get a copy and get more games going. Be sure to stay tuned to the Vorpal Tales Twitch and YouTube to see more Scarlands and many other Onyx games. You can come check us out at twitch.tv/VorpalTales, youtube.com/VorpalTales, our own website, VorpalTales.com, which our very own Sean has worked very hard on, as well as all over the social medias at Vorpal Tales. We have a smorgasbord of Onyx Path games, systems, and settings we like to run, including Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, Mage the Awakening, Mage the Ascension, and They Came from Beyond the Grave, with many more coming in the fall and beyond. Be sure you give the Onyx Path Twitch a follow, and also drop a follow on Vorpal Tales and Plastic Age Plays. Your love and adoration keeps us going because I didn't get enough from Dad growing up. Players, plug your pluggables and name the next thing for the Onyx Path Virtual Con you'll be participating in.
Hey, I'm at Space Lord PJs. The next thing that I'll be playing in is our Scion game in about an hour or so. 2 hours? Yeah. 9. Watch it at 9.
Nailed it.
I believe that's me then. So I am John, otherwise known as J3 Billion, everywhere on the interwebs. And the next place I'll be is our Frostlands of Fenrilik, 8 p.m.
My name is Hugo. You can find me pretty much anywhere on social media as Sevatar ____. And the next time you'll see me is playing Simbaroom next week. I am done with Onyx Con for now, sadly.
Alright, you can see me also at 9 p.m. playing Scion. And tomorrow you can find me playing Dragons vs. Mask starting at 2 p.m. on Vorpal Tales. And also every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can find me playing Monster Hearts on Caring Comfort Studios. I'm playing Kennedy, the werewolf, who recently learned something very interesting about her lineage.
Alrighty. Well, all those things sound totally awesome. I know I'll be personally dropping in on some, if not all of them. The next time you'll see me will be in just a couple hours on this same channel, where I'll be running the Frostlands of Fenrilik game. So come check that out. Make sure you check out anything people named here, as well as everything else on the schedule, because we'll see you there. Everyone, have a great Onyx Path Virtual Con, and happy Pride Month.
Adios.
Bye.